One of the biggest advertised benefits to quitting alcohol is that you will save lots of money. But that's not necessarily true. In this video, I explain why quitting alcohol won't save you lots of money. So let's say you spend $50 a week on alcohol. $50 a week times 52 weeks a year, that's $2,600. $2,600 a year doesn't really seem like all that much money, does it? Sure, alcohol is expensive, especially if you go to restaurants or bars or clubs where they jack up the price like 1,000% and probably water it down just as much. I think it's pretty self-explanatory that if you quit drinking an expensive beverage that you will probably have a little bit more money in your pocket, especially if you drink it a lot. However, I see it all the time. People quit drinking alcohol and they don't save any money. In this video, I'm gonna explain why that is. And I'm also gonna explain how you can save lots of money when you quit drinking alcohol. Now, before I continue, I have a question for you. How much money have you saved this year since you quit drinking alcohol? And if you haven't quit drinking alcohol, how much money do you think you've spent this year on alcohol? Let me know in the comment section. So your day, just like everyone else's, is 24 hours long. 8 hours you spend working, 8 hours you spend sleeping, and 8 hours is your spare time. 1/3 of your day you work, 1/3 of your day you sleep, and 1/3 of your day you play. If you consume alcohol daily, you take the money you spend your time earning and you spend that money on alcohol. And then you spend your spare time consuming that alcohol. So just right there, a lot of your time and money is spent on alcohol. But as soon as you quit alcohol, the time you spend earning your money no longer gets wasted when you spend that money on alcohol. And you don't spend your spare time on alcohol either. So suddenly you have a whole lot of extra time and money. But what you do with that extra time and money will determine whether or not you save money when you quit drinking. The problem is, a lot of people drink in order to fill some sort of void in their life. And a lot of people aren't very aware of the reasons that they drink. So even when they successfully quit drinking, they are still desperate to fill the void with something else. And a desperate person with extra money and extra time is a recipe for disaster. I used to know a guy who was literally drunk 24/7. He drank from the moment he woke up in the morning to the moment he passed out at night. And I kind of reconnected with him a little while ago, and he told me that he had quit drinking. So I remember saying to him, good for you. You must be rich now, because I knew how much money he spent on alcohol. But then it turned out that he had just replaced his drinking habit with a coke addiction. And unfortunately, this is very common. People don't properly solve their drinking problem, they just transfer it onto something else. And in some cases, it's even worse than drinking. Sure, coke might be an extreme example, but even more common is people when they quit drinking, they will eat more food, or they will start smoking more, or they quit for a short period of time and then relapse and go back in harder than they even did before. Quitting alcohol is a great thing, but there are ways of doing it that are not so great. So if one of the main deciding factors for you to quit drinking is to save money, I have 4 suggestions for you. 1, spend some time soul searching. Figure out who you are and what your motivations are. Figure out what your needs are. Figure out whatever void it is that you may be trying to fill with alcohol to ensure that you don't just try to fill it with something else when you quit. And number 2, if you are new to quitting alcohol and not exactly sure where to start, my suggestion would be go to an AA meeting. It may be intimidating at first, but AA is one of the best free resources for anyone suffering from alcoholism. All you have to do is show up, and I guarantee you will be given an opportunity to learn everything you need to know to successfully quit alcohol and be on your road to sobriety. Number 3 is like, subscribe, and don't forget the bell. And number 4 is continue watching this video, because you can save lots of money when you quit drinking alcohol. And I mean a lot of money. You can save a lot more than $2,600 a year, because the money you save isn't just the money you stop spending on the actual alcohol beverage itself. It goes much deeper than that. When I quit drinking, I gave myself a whole lot more extra time. But without the influence of alcohol, what I started doing was valuing my time a whole lot more, which meant that I started valuing my money a whole lot more because I spent my valuable time earning that money. So inadvertently, I became a whole lot less willing to waste my money on stupid shit. When I was drinking, I focused my attention on instant gratification. I focused my attention on making myself feel good at that moment, not caring about the future. But when I quit drinking, I started focusing on my goals. I started caring about my future. When I was drinking, I would buy junk food at lunchtime. But when I quit drinking, I would plan ahead and spend an hour a week preparing all of my meals for that week. When I was drinking, I would drink and then I would smoke and I would do other drugs. But when I quit drinking, I stopped smoking and I stopped doing drugs. So by quitting alcohol, not only did I save money because I was no longer purchasing alcoholic beverages, but I completely changed my entire relationship with my time and my money. So the bottom line is, quitting alcohol won't necessarily make you rich, but if you do it right, you can definitely save a lot of money.